All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about a book that's, well, it's one of the most influential and, honestly, most debated self-help books ever written. We're talking about Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Now, this is a book that's been credited with creating millionaires and inspiring entire generations. But, and this is a big but, it's also wrapped up in some pretty serious controversy. So, what's the real story?
You know, I don't think you could capture the reputation of this book any better than this Reddit user did. It just perfectly nails the intense, kind of polarizing effect Think and Grow Rich has on people. For some, yeah, it's just an old book. But for others, it's the thing that completely changed the course of their lives.
And its reach, it is just staggering. Since it was first published way back in 1937, this book has sold over 100 million copies around the world. So whatever you end up thinking about its message, you just can't deny its massive cultural footprint.
So you have to wonder, right? How did a book that came out of the Great Depression, of all times, become this enduring symbol of hope for so many people? Well, to really get it, you have to understand the legend behind the book itself.
Here's the core promise, and it's what gives the book this incredible mystique. Napoleon Hill claimed these weren't just his ideas. No, this was a magic formula for success that he supposedly got from over 20 years of research and interviews with the absolute titans of his era. And he said it all started with a personal challenge from the great industrialist Andrew Carnegie himself. So what is this secret sauce? What's the formula? Well, at its core, it's something Hill called a philosophy of achievement. It's basically a set of principles that are all designed to help you harness the power of your own mind. The book lays out these 13 core principles. We won't go through every single one, but you can see a clear pattern here. It's all about mindset. Things like having a burning desire, unwavering faith, and using what he called autosuggestion to literally program your subconscious. The big idea is that true wealth, it isn't built in a bank account. It's built in your mind first.
But Hill doesn't just leave you hanging with a bunch of abstract ideas. Nope. He gives you a really concrete step-by-step plan to turn all that thinking into actual tangible wealth. And it's all built around 6 very specific steps.
And here they are, the famous 6 steps. This is the core of Hill's method for what he called transmuting desire, which is a fancy way of saying turning a wish into its financial equivalent. And you got to notice how specific this is. It's not, I want to be rich, it's, I want this exact amount by this exact date. And that last step, reading it aloud twice a day, that's all about autosuggestion. It's designed to drill that goal so deep into your subconscious that it becomes a full-blown obsession. Seeing the process laid out like this really drives it home. It stops being just a list of things to do and becomes this simple, daily ritual you can follow. This is what so many people point to as the reason for their success. It's a practical discipline that forces you to turn that vague ambition into focused, daily action.
Okay, so we've seen the ideas, the powerful stuff that's changed millions of lives. But now we have to pull back the curtain and take a hard look at the man who came up with them. And this is where the story gets complicated.
That really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If a guy is selling you the secrets to success, you kind of expect him to be a shining example of integrity. But when you start digging into Napoleon Hill's own life story, that picture gets really, really blurry.
This timeline is just fascinating. So, according to Hill's own legend, 1908 is this magical year where he meets Andrew Carnegie and his life's mission begins. But according to historical records from that very same year, Hill was actually being accused of fraud, had a warrant out for his arrest, and had to skip town after his lumber business went bust.
And here's the kicker. The entire foundation of the book, that legendary meeting with Andrew Carnegie, it's seriously disputed. Carnegie's own biographer, a historian named David Nasaw, specifically went looking for any proof of this meeting and said he found absolutely zero evidence that it ever even happened.
And the contradictions just keep stacking up. It's kind of wild. On one side, you've got this beautiful principle from Hill's own writing, a noble idea about only doing business that benefits everyone involved. And on the other side, a documented accusation that one of his business ventures was a straight-up scam, exploiting students for free labor. This contrast is really at the heart of the whole Napoleon Hill paradox.
So what do we do with all this? How do you make sense of it? You've got a book filled with what seems to be timeless wisdom, stuff that has genuinely helped people, but it was written by a man whose own history is just riddled with accusations of being a fraud.
And you see this kind of sentiment all the time from the book's fans. For them, it's simple. The results speak for themselves. They don't care where the ideas came from if the ideas work. So what if the messenger was flawed? The message is what matters, right?
But then you have the critics, like marketing writer Rachel K. Albers, who see it completely differently. From their point of view, the book is just a very clever mix of wishful thinking and pure deception. Basically, a product sold by the ultimate snake oil salesman.
Which leaves us right here at the central debate. Is Think and Grow Rich a legitimate, timeless blueprint for achieving your goals? Or is it the original and maybe most successful example of fake it till you make it, a whole philosophy built on a lie that just happened to work out?
And that brings us to this final, really important question. If an idea has the power to genuinely change your life for the better, does it even matter if the person who wrote it down might have been a con artist? Can something of real value come from a tainted source? I guess that's for you to decide.